Okay, guys, so hope you remember last session we were discussing about strings and string manipulations. In that, we were telling you about the different operators. So, on a string, what are the different operators that you can put it and what will be working? So, those are the things what we were seeing, and I told you that we will discuss more with regards to the format function. So, I have a predefined function called as format. Okay, this function is used to, what is the purpose of the format function? For formatting my output. So for formatting my output, so I want the output in a specific way. I want it to be printed in a specific way. How to get that done? So for that, I will be making use of the format function. Right. So what are the different ways in which you can use the format function? So that is what I'm going to discuss with you next. Okay. Remember, this function is a string function. So this is very, very important. It is a string function. So I can make use of the format function only on my strings. So this is one thing you have to 100% remember. Format function is a string function. You see how I'm using this? Within double quotes, I'm going to put something. After closing of the double quotes, I'm keeping a dot and calling the function. So whatever you give within double quotes is a string. On this string, I am applying my format function. So remember, format is a string based function. Right. So now, first way of using my format function. Way 1 is whatever value you want to give within that function. Whatever value you want to print, then I will be making use of this pair of curly braces. So it always has to be a pair. So within the string, inside of my double quotes, wherever I want a value to be printed, what I will do? I will give a opening and a closing pair of curly braces. So now remember very well, the order here is very, very important. In the first pair, whatever inside the format function, whatever the first value you are giving, that that value is going to go and get substituted here. So remember very carefully, wherever you want to print something. So here in this place, I want to print some value. So what I will do, in that place, I will give a pair of curly braces, and inside the format function, I will pass the values. So whatever you are giving here as the first value, that will go and replace the first pair of curly braces. The second value for the second pair, the third value for the third pair. So when you run this piece of code, see, you'll be getting a value like this. So Python is the first one which is replacing my first pair, then for, then. So not only this, I can also use it in form of variables. Say for example, I am creating a variable like this. C, then I'm saying B is equal to is. So I am having these variables. Now I want to print them. I want to print them. See how I am doing it. I am saying, sorry, I am saying print. So there I am going within the double quotes. So always remember, within double quotes, whatever you are giving inside the print statement is going to get printed as it is for me. So here I am saying first a pair of curly braces, then space, second pair, okay, then the third pair, fourth pair, okay, then I'm saying done. Right. So now I am having four pairs of curly braces. Now what I have to do? I have to specify value for these curly braces. How to do that? After the double quotes, give a dot. Give a dot, use the format function. Inside the format function, we have to give the list of variables. So which variables value you wanted in the place of these curly braces. So here what you're going to do, A, B, C. So now how is the value going to get printed? Careful. First pair of curly braces, first value A, that is C. C will get printed, then is, then whatever you're giving here. Okay, then again a value, then again a value, then whatever you're giving here will be displayed for me. When I run this program, see how is it coming? C is the best programming language available. So either I can pass a variable names or I can directly pass the values. Whichever way I want, I can make use of it. So here what I am doing in this format, I am directly passing the values. So directly you're giving the values, and in this particular format function, here what you're using, here what you're using, you're giving the variable. So format function, you can use it like this or you can use it like this. First two ways. First two ways. Then let us go for a third option. Okay, let us go for the third option. Okay, there you go. This method, we call it as using indexes. Using indexes. Okay, now what do you mean by this? Okay, see here, inside of the curly braces, you can either give like this empty or I can give the index values. Now, what is this index here? Remember, inside the format, you are giving values like this, either like this or like this variables. So always the first value what you are giving is the 0 index, second value is index 1, third value is index 2, fourth value is index 3, and so on. How much ever you are giving, like that it will be going. So learning will be index 0, for will be index 1, Python will be index 2. Now when you are using, when you are not using anything, when you are not using any value, what will happen? The first value will go in the first place. The second value will go in the second place. The third value will go in the third place. But now, instead of saying that, I am passing the index here. So, in the place of this curly braces, what will come? Whatever is the value which is present inside index 1. And what is that value for? So, for will get substituted in this place. Then, here, index 0. What is index 0? Learning. So learning, this will come and get placed here. Now again I'm saying index 2. What is index 2? This is 0, this is 1. So this is index 2. So Python come and get substituted in this pair of curly braces. So when I execute this program, see how is my output? For learning Python. So use it like this, use it like this, or we can also use it in this format. That is using the indexes. I can make use of my format function. So this is the third way of using my format function. Okay, then what else? The next format. Let us go for the next format. Okay, go for the next one. So here what I do. Here I am creating a string. Here I am creating a string. See here I am creating a string. So what I am saying, my name is, then in this place I am giving a curly braces. I am giving a curly braces. Right, inside that I have passed one number. I am saying continuing the string and my age is. Then here again I am giving a pair of curly braces inside which is having a number. Then I am saying, and also I have a sibling whose age is. Then I am giving here a curly brace and I am giving 1. Right. So what did I say? Format is a what type of a function? String function. So now this entire string, here what I gave the string inside a printf. Here again I gave a string inside the printf. Again in this format also I am using the string inside the printf. But here I am creating a variable and I am giving this string value to this variable. Then what I am saying? C dot format. C dot format. What is C? C is nothing but the string. So remember, still in my format is a string function. So that is why I am saying C dot format. So C is this entire string. So this is equivalent as writing like this. This is same as writing like this. Let me put this in a comment so I don't want this to execute. This is same as me writing in the place of C. What will happen? This entire string will be replaced. So instead of writing like this, the string, then dot, then using this. So again what will happen? The values are going to get substituted in the place of the curly braces. That is sure. So, but instead of putting the string inside the printf, what I am doing? I am creating a string variable. Then I am saying that variable dot. What is the first value? 5. Here where is 1? Here where is 0? 0 is here. So this 5 is going to go for the 0 value. Then this is 1. 1, where is 1? See here? Yeah, this is 1. So 8 will go and get substituted in this place. Then where is psi? Psi is index value 2. So in the place of 2, this is going to get substituted. So when I run this program, see how is my output? My name is Sai and my age is just 5. Also I have a sibling whose age is 8 years. So different ways. The format function itself, you can make use of it in multiple ways. So writing it like this or writing it like this, both are going to produce you the same output. If you want, we can cross check it. Just take this out, print this also. See what you are getting. Both the outputs are same. So either you write like this or put it in a variable and then use it. Both are going to give you the same. Right. What else? What else about the format function? So have a look at this. Have a look at the next variation. What I'm doing in the next variation. See here. I'm creating variables. I'm creating variables inside the format function. See, I'm saying P. P is a variable for which I am assigning the value as Python. So P means Python. Then I'm creating a variable called L. L means what? Learning. Okay. I stands for I itself. Okay. I is standing for capital I. Done. Then A. A another variable. What is the value for that variable? So these are all the variables that I am creating. So normally when you create more than one variable, what will you do? I am saying A is equal to 10, comma B is equal to 20. So we always make use of that comma. The same comma only I am using here also. Same comma only I am using here also. Separator. I am saying this is the first variable, comma. This is the second variable. This is the third variable. This is the fourth variable. Now what you are going to do is, when I am going to print the string, when I am going to print the string, here within the curly braces, one is I can leave an empty curly brace, one is I can give the index value, otherwise I can give this variable name. I can give this variable name. So what will happen? Here I am saying I. So whatever is the value of this I will get substituted in this place. Whatever is the value of this variable A, which is this one, is going to get substituted in this place. Same way for L, same way for P. When you run this, what will come? I am learning. It's just going to print you. I am learning. So this is another way in which we will be making use of the format function. So as I said, what is the purpose of format? To produce an output, to format my output. So what are the different ways in which I can format my output is what I am telling you. Right. So variation 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one. Next one. Okay. Have a look at this. Okay. Next variation. There you go. Done. Now tell me one thing. If you want to print the binary value of a number, how will I do it? If I want to print the binary value of a number, you remember I already discussed about these functions. There are some predefined functions that are available for you. So I can say print bin of 16. So I want to know what is the binary value of the number 16. So what is that I'm doing? I am using the bin function. Bin function is a binary function. So whatever number you are going to give, that number will be converted into a binary and then it is going to be printed for me. So when I run this program, see what is the output I'm getting. So OB represents binary, then it is going to print me the value like this. Now, I don't want OB. How to remove it? I cannot remove it because bin function by default always specifies this OB. No matter whatever number you are saying. Say suppose you are giving 15. Run this. See what happens. Again the OB will always be there because OB represents the binary format. So whenever you are using the bin function to produce the binary number, definitely it will be producing this OB. You cannot change it. I cannot say I don't want it. So what I can do, another alternate I have is I can make use of my format function. So in my format function, I am saying 0. That is the 0th value is going to be a binary. Is going to be a binary. So I am saying B. So colon B means B represents binary. Okay, now what I am going to say dot format of 16. So 16 number, since I am giving it as binary, the value of this will get converted into a binary number and then it is going to get stored inside this variable. Now when I print the variable, see the output difference. See what happens. I'm just getting only the number. I'm not getting this OB and all. It's not needed for me. So you can make use of the format function for this also. So B here represents binary. So you're going to say 0th index position value I wanted as a binary format. So whatever number you are going to give here, suppose here I'm giving 25. Okay, so then what happens? When I'm going to convert it, let us do it with both the numbers just to cross check the values. So when I run this, see what happens? Both the numbers are same, but only thing is I don't have the OB here. So it will convert the value into a binary format and then it is going to store it inside this S1. So that S1 I can print it very easily. Okay, another variation, what I can do. Okay, I have the floating point numbers. So I have something which is a floating point numbers. So the floating point numbers can be represented in an exponent format. So what do you mean by this exponent format is when the number is very large. Suppose I am having a number like this. So this is a very large number. I feel very difficult writing it. So I want to shorten this. So I will use to the power of. So I will use to the power of. So I will convert this number. I will use to the power of to make it in a shorter manner. Say suppose this is my number. I want to represent this in a exponent format. So how to do that? So here when you use B, it means binary. So now when I am using E, it means exponent. See the value here. So how it says, instead of saying 1665 point something, it is saying 1.6656 something like this. E plus 0. I mean 0, 3. So this number to the power of 3, when you do it, you will be getting this value. Automatic conversion. You don't have to do anything. It will automatically convert. So if I want to represent a number in an exponent format, okay, then what I can do is, instead of B, here B means binary. So here you are going to say E. So 0 colon E. So the 0 index value, I want it as an exponent. Convert it, store it into this variable. Okay, same way, there are some decimal where you want to round off only to 2 digits. I don't want 4 digits, 5 digits. So this number is there. I want to print only till 64. I don't want to this 58 and all. So what I can do? For that, what I will do is F means float. Okay, so I will say 0 colon 0.2F. So 0.2F means what? I want only up to 2 digits after the dot. After the dot, I want only till 2 digits. That is what here you mean by dot 2F. In your C programming, if you remember, we used to use this format. We used to use something like this. So when you run this, see what happens. First you do one thing. You print 1 divided by 6. See what is that you are getting. See what is the value you are getting. See, I am saying I don't want like this. I want a round off only to 2 digits. I don't want so many numbers. How will I do that? I will say format specifier within the curly braces, zeroth value, that is the first value, colon 0.2. I want only till 2 decimal points. Suppose if you are giving here 0.4f, see what happens. Up to 4 decimal digits you are getting. So if you are saying here 0.0f, if you are giving here 0.0f, then see what happens. No decimal point. It will not come at all. It will give you only the whole number. So you can control. All these are ways of controlling my output. How I want to print in that particular manner, I can format my output. This is the some of the most commonly used things of your format function. These are the different aspects of how I will be making use of this particular function. Right, I hope this is clear, guys. I will just share you the code also, so you can just have a look at it. So you can just run and have a look at this. Right, so now what is the next thing in my strings? How to modify or how to delete a string. So that is the next thing with your string manipulations, what you are going to be studying. How to modify a string value. Okay, say for example, I am having a string like this. Okay, now what I am saying is, I have given this p, the character p, as a small p. Now I want to change it. I want to change it. How I want to change it? I want to change it as a capital P. Okay, I want to change this as a capital P. So I want the string like this. Python. I want the string to be printed like this. How to do that? How to do that? So let us simply say, I am saying yes of 0. This is my 0 index position. We know that strings are being stored based on index value. So if I am saying s of 0 is equal to, instead of small p, give capital P. Okay, let us print this. So I am saying print yes. Okay, then after changing, again I am saying print yes. What will happen when I execute this program? Remember, you will get an error. You will get an error. Why? Strings are immutable. So the point what you have to remember is, I already told you this, strings are immutable. is, once you create a string value, you cannot modify the string value. So remember this point very, very carefully. Once a string is created, I cannot modify the value. Run this. See what happens. What is that you're getting? str object does not support item assignments. It does not have this feature. You cannot change anything like this. It is impossible. It is impossible. Why? Because strings are immutable. So anytime in your program, if you try to change like this, your program will not work. It will throw only errors. Okay, now have a look here. I am saying L is equal to, I'll have a string also, or let us say like this. Okay, so I'm creating a list here. So now I'm printing the list. Say first print the list. Okay, then you are going to say L of, okay, L of 0, sorry, capital L. Okay, the variable name I have created like this. So L of 0 is equal to, I'm saying Python. Okay, after this, I'm again printing the L value. Okay, once again, I am printing the L value. So this is going to create an error. This line will create an error for us. Right. So now have a look at this. This is a list. This is a list. Now when you run this code, see what happens. No errors. The code is accepted. I'm getting an output also. See how the output is. First, after creating the list, okay, I'm printing the list. So what is it saying? 10, 20, 30 and Java. Then I'm saying L of 0. List is also index based. List is also index based. So I am saying L of 0. So L of 0 means what? This first index value. Now I am changing from 10, I am changing it to Python. And then when I run it, see how it is getting changed. Why is this happening? Because list is mutable. Mutable means what? You can do the modifications. You can do the modifications. So understand, strings comes under the immutable category. So normally when a data type is mutable, it will allow you to change. So when the data type is mutable, it will allow to change. But when the data type is immutable, so when the data type is immutable, then you cannot modify the data. Once created, the data is going to remain the same. So immutable means what? Cannot be modified. Cannot be modified. Here, mutable means data can be modified. That is the difference between mutable and immutable. So when it comes to strings, what is the important point you have to remember? Strings are immutable. So modifying a string is not possible. Modifying a string is not possible. Right. So now here I want to show you one more example. I am saying yes is equal to Python, then say print yes, comma, id of yes. You remember the id function? What is the id function going to do? It is going to print the address allocated for a variable. Right. So now I am saying yes is equal to Python. Giving same variable name, but here the value is different. Here I am changing the value. Here what happened? I am changing the value. Now again after changing, I'm going to print it. I'm going to print it. Okay, see what happens. Python, Python. Value is getting changed, but it is the same variable. Is it the same variable? Look at the address. What is this S address? What is the address of this variable? Both are different. So remember very clearly here what is happening is the previous variable, the previous S variable will be deleted, will be taken out, and then a new variable is pointing to it. Okay, so please understand here how the thing is going to happen. Both S are not same. Both S are not same. This is a different value. This is a different value. So remember how it is going to happen. First, what it will do? First, my Python, what it will do? It will create an address. It will create a memory address. Inside this memory address, it will store this value. It is going to store this value and the variable yes and the variable name yes will point to this address. Now, when I am giving a different value for a, what is going to happen? A new address will get created. A new address is going to get created. Okay, and this new value will be stored inside this address. Okay, and now my yes from here, it will be removed and it will point to the yes over here. This is how it will take place. So remember, both the yes are not the same variable. They are different variables. So here what happens is redefinition. Here what happens is redefinition or reallocation. Reallocation of the memory. So first time my yes will point to this address. Now when I change the value, it will automatically create a new address with that value and my yes will start pointing to this new value. So the previous value, it will no longer have the reference. So what will happen here? This is as equivalent as this variable will get deleted and a new variable will get created with this value. So here always understand, this is not modifying. This is not modification. This is redefinition. This is what we call as redefinition, or we call this as recreation. So both the variables are not same. So please remember this point very carefully. So having seen this, don't say strings are modifiable. Strings can be modified. No, it cannot be modified. So here what happens? A new variable is what is getting created, not the same one. So just remember this point very carefully. Right. And the next option, what I was telling you is this is about modifying a string. This is about how we modify a string value. So one is strings are immutable. I cannot modify. If you want to change the string value, we can only redefine the value. We can create a new string, but we cannot same string, we cannot change the value. Right. Second point is how to delete. How to delete a string. I have created a variable. How to delete that variable? So here, for that purpose, I will be making use of one keyword. There is one keyword called as del. There is a keyword called as del. So the keyword del is used to delete a variable. So we are going to make use of this keyword del. What is the purpose of this keyword? The keyword del is used to delete a variable. So it is used to delete an object from memory. So what is the other point you have to remember? Once deleted, once the value is getting deleted, you cannot use it again. You cannot make use of it again. So this is the point what you have to remember. Say for example, I am saying yes is equal to. Okay, so s is equal to welcome to Python. This is my string. This is the value of the string. Same way, I am saying print yes. Print yes. So when I run this program, what will be the output that is getting printed? See, output says welcome to Python. Okay, now I'm saying del yes. I'm saying del yes. After deleting yes, I'm again saying print yes. So what is the use of the del? I said it is used to delete an object. It is used to delete an object from memory. So from memory, it is going to delete this yes completely, erase it. Once it is deleted, if you try to use it again, it is going to throw you an error. Now when you run this, see what happens. It will throw an, and what error that is going to be? It is going to be an name error. It is going to be a name error. So what does it says? Yes. Yes is not there. I don't know what is yes. Yes is not defined at all. Then why are you asking me to print yes? I don't know what is yes. That is what happens because yes is being deleted. Once it is deleted, I cannot make use of it again. If I try to use it after deleting, it will throw me an error. And what is the error I will get? I will be getting a name error saying that particular value, that particular variable is not recognized. So what I can do? What I can do? I can create again yes. Again yes I can create. I will say now welcome to C. Now when I print, it will work. Because after deleting, I am again creating it. I am again creating it with a different value. So now it will work. But after deleting without recreating it, if I try to print it, it is always going to throw me an error. So this is another important thing what you have to remember. So any variable, any string variable I am creating, I can delete that variable with the usage of the del keyword. With the usage of the del keyword, this is possible. So once deleted, I cannot make use of it again. Right, there you go. Done. So what is the next? So what is the next thing? The next thing I'm going to tell you is about some important string functions. So there are a lot of predefined functions that are available for my strings. A lot. Okay, so in that, I am going to discuss with you some important functions. You have around some 50-60 functions. So each and every function, it is not possible for us to discuss. So all the frequently used functions, all the important functions is what I'm going to be discussing. So the functions that I make use of in my program very regularly. Right, so let us have a look at those functions. So first, what I'm going to tell you is a function, okay, called as len. So what is the len function? Remember, len function is used to find the length of a string. So what is the purpose of this function? It is used to calculate the length of the string. So we have already made use of this len function. Let me say yes is equal to input of. I'm asking the user to input the yes value. That is a string value I'm taking. Then I'm saying n is equal to len of yes. So length of yes. Get that? Store it inside the n variable. Then I am printing 1. I can do like this, or directly I can say print len of yes. So you can store it inside another variable and then print it, or directly say len of yes. So here I have to use the len. I have to give a value for len. So I'm saying hi. This is my string. So this entire value is going to go and get stored inside the yes variable. So now how to calculate the length? Remember each and every character, including space, including all the special characters, everything, each and every letter, each and every character is taken as one. So here high 2, then space 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7. Then again a space. 8. Then after like that. Dot is also one space. This is also one. Everything is taken as one character. So when I type it, see what I'm getting? 46. So the total length of this string is composed of 46 characters. And the 46 characters include the blank spaces, include the dots, include the special characters, everything. So I can either get the value, store it inside a variable, and then print the variable, or I can directly say print len of yes. So this is the purpose of my len function. So len function is used to find the length of the string. How I am going to do it? This is how I am going to get the value from the user, store the n, print the n, or print it directly. So both the ways are good. So this is like my method 1, or let us say way 1, and this is going to be my second way. I can use it whichever way I did. This is way 1, this is way right. Now what is the next function? What is the next function? I have a function which is called as upper. I have a function which is called as upper. So what is the use of the upper? Converts the string into uppercase letters. Uppercase letters. So what is the purpose of the upper function? It is used to convert your string into uppercase letters. Same way, I have a function called lower. Again, what is the purpose of lower? So it is used to convert the string into lowercase alphabets. Into lowercase alphabets or lowercase letters. Very simple functions. As the name suggests. As the name suggests, it is going to happen. So let us say, I am saying S1 is equal to Java. I am having everything in uppercase. Then I am having S2. So I am saying S2 is equal to Python. See here, everything is in smaller case. Now say print, okay, S1 dot lower, right? Then say print S2 dot upper. So remember, all these are functions. So how I have to use it? All these are string functions, just like what I used for my format. So string dot function name. Run this. See how you are getting it. Java is defined inside in capital letters, but when I use the lower function, what happens? Everything is converted into a lowercase. Same thing, Python is there in lowercase. When I use the upper function, see what happens. Okay, so that is the upper and the lower functions. Here, one important thing is there. One important thing is there. Strings are what? Strings are immutable. Okay, first let me just copy this. I'll put it here. Okay, so what is the point you have to remember? Strings are immutable. Okay, say suppose here I'm saying yes. Okay, I'm saying yes one dot, okay, lower. Yes one dot lower. Then I am printing yes one. I am printing yes one. See here what I have done. Same way I am saying yes2 dot upper. Then I am printing yes2. I am printing yes2. Now when I run the program, see what is the output. Original string is not at all changing. I am giving here but s1 dot lower. If I am giving s1 dot lower also, after I print s1, it is printing me in uppercase only. It is not converting into a lowercase. Why? Remember the point what I told you. Strings are immutable. So the string value will never change. Here why it was changing? I was printing it inside the print statement. I was giving it inside a print statement. So just for the sake of printing, it was giving me the output like that. But the original string value never changes. Remember that point very, very carefully. The original string value is not going to change. Here, when I print it inside like this, just for the sake of printing, it was showing me in lowercase. It was actually showing me in lowercase. Okay, so it was printing it as Java. Here, it was getting printed as Python. Only for the sake of printing. But the original string will not change. Remember this point very, very carefully. Right. We will discuss more on this in our next session. Okay. Evening we'll be having one more class. We will discuss more on this and continue with the rest of the functions also.